I wasn't even planning to review this Triumph HD. I mean, I didn't expect much from a $100 binocular, so I didn't even mess with it at first, but somehow it ended up in my hands and I gave it a look. Vortex claims it's got the best image and reliability in its class. Like, you get affordable premium without the premium price tag. Sounds great, but I always thought that niche was already covered by the Crossfire HD line, which I seriously love. Triumph, though, kind of flew under my radar. The whole series was a bit of a mystery to me, so I took it on a long hike and used it to watch some wildlife. Couple of deer hanging out, some birds and ocean views, whatever was around. My goal was just to figure out what this Triumph HD really is. What can it do? Will it work for hunters and bird watchers? What are the pros and cons? And who actually needs it? So I'm gonna break it all down for you. We'll see it in action, and as always, I'll drop plenty of through the lens footage so it feels like you're looking through the glass yourself. And every binocular you see in my videos has a link waiting for you right down in the video description. So let's get started. I'm Phil and welcome back to Sports and Gadgets. Well, Vortex dropped the Triumph HD specifically as their first affordable mass-market HD binocular. And the whole idea behind it is super simple: get the best quality for the lowest price possible. It's made for people who want reliability, solid image quality, and a price that undercuts the competition. So it comes in at a straight $100. Basically, they fill the gap between those cheap, flimsy, toy-like binoculars and the more serious premium models with all the fancy features most people probably don't even need. So here we've got this surfer out on the crest of a wave, and he's clear as hell. You can actually make out how he's paddling stretched out on the board, the curve in his back, and the wetsuit looks crisp with that sleek shine where it's wet, just enough to catch your eye. Now, the sky is all overcast, no strong sun, just that soft, even light, and that's brutal for cheap optics. That's when bad glass starts messing with you, twisting the colors, turning water all cartoon blue or sickly green, but not here. With the Triumph, you still get that neutral, steel gray tone of the ocean. The lens isn't lying to you, with no weird color shift and no haze, just clean, usable detail. So that's how the Triumph came to life, a rugged, tactical field optic built tough for real outdoor and survival use. And yes, there is no luxury features like extra low dispersion and all that stuff, but it comes with a lifetime warranty. And really, that's something Vortex does better than anyone else. It basically makes their optics last forever. What I mean is, let's say you're hiking and accidentally drop this thing into a campfire and it melts down completely, or you smash it into a million pieces, it's still covered under warranty. So the warranty covers any damage that leaves the binocular unusable. So right off the bat, I get a solid 10 power magnification, which is actually pretty serious zoom. It's like something that's really 1,000 yards away looks like it's sitting just at 100 yards out. And honestly, that works for just about everything, like wildlife spotting, bird watching, scanning fields, animals, or even shooting. It's really perfect if you're glassing open country hundreds of yards away. With that 42mm lens, I'm getting good amount of light, which means the image stays nice and clear even on cloudy days or around twilight. And at the same time, a 42mm lens keeps it compact enough so my shoulders, neck and arms don't really get tired even after a long hike. The field of view hits that sweet spot. It's wide enough to easily scan large areas, but still tight enough to pick out small details. And I'd like to give a quick disclaimer about my binocular footages. When you look through the Triumph with your own eyes, it's way better than what the phone captures. A smartphone camera just can't do its justice. Its tiny lens can't let in as much light as our eyes. It also doesn't line up perfectly with the binocular's eyepiece, so you end up getting some distortion, shadows, glare, all these weird artifacts. I mean, you won't see any of that when you're actually looking through the glass. With your actual eyes, everything looks brighter, sharper, way more detailed, more lifelike. Just so you know, the real view is much more impressive. If you already own the Triumph, back me up in the comments. Okay, so the optical quality in the Triumph is actually way better than you'd expect for this money. I genuinely feel like I'm looking through the lenses that cost at least twice as much. And that's really the main thing that makes the Triumph so strong. The thing is, Vortex put their own HD BAK glass system in here, which just means they're using carefully selected glass types that cut down on chromatic aberration. That's basically when cheaper glass breaks white light into separate colors, and you end up seeing those weird colorful fringes inches around object. With the Triumph, we're getting simple but really decent quality glass, so those colors actually stay lined up and you don't get those annoying colorful edges. Here we've got a white-tailed doe at about 100 yards or so. Through the Triumph at that distance, you can easily pick out all these small details. You can clearly see the face, the shape of her ears, and even a little sparkle in her eye. You can even make out that thin dark stripe running along the snout. Colors are really natural. The reddish-brown summer coat on the deer and the cool greens in the leaves don't look artificial or washed out. The outline of the animal stays nice and crisp with no fuzzy edges or color fringes. This is really the kind of sharpness and clarity you'd usually expect from binoculars that cost a lot more money. And again, keep in mind that when you look with your actual eyes, the picture is way better. It's clearer, brighter, and packed with way more details than this phone footage can show you. Any little artifacts around the edges of my footage are because I'm literally holding the phone up to the binocular by hand without the proper mount, so it's not perfectly aligned, just so you know. I especially noticed that difference when looking at the Seconded lighthouse in Rhode Island. With my own eyes, the lighthouse was so crisp and clear, it honestly felt like it was right in front of me. At a distance of 3 miles, it was seriously mind-blowing. It felt like I could just reach out and touch it. I could clearly see textures on the walls and even objects attached to the lighthouse. I could easily observe every tiny detail. Unfortunately, my phone camera just couldn't pick up that level of sharpness and detail, so the footage looks a lot softer and more distorted. So just keep that in mind. Even so, you can clearly make out the tower, even the rocky base it sits on. The edges are nice and clean, no weird purple edges, and the colors of the water and rocks look absolutely natural. But keep in mind that this isn't their fancy extra low dispersion glass like you'd see in Vortex's premium models like this Diamondback or Viper HD. That's one of the reasons why this binocular costs less. True extra low dispersion completely kills chromatic aberration, but it's also expensive and tough to produce. Still, Triumph's regular HD glass comes really close honestly, and it's almost indistinguishable in everyday use. In real life, when you're actually out there looking through these binos, the picture stays sharp, colors stay natural, and your wallet stays happy. And yes, if you're looking super close at tough lighting conditions, you might notice just a little bit of softness at the edges, or maybe the tiniest hint of color fringing around the extreme edges. But honestly, in real-world use, you won't even notice it. The center is always nice, sharp, and clear. It never goes soft or blurry, and won't bug you with glare or fringes. And check this out, the rabbit's frozen right there on the trail. With the sun coming in from the side, you can actually see the veins inside its ears through the thin skin. The fur stays sharp too, no smudged at all. You can really make out the texture. Same with the ground, all the little bits of gravel, the weeds off to the side, even the tiny shadows from pebbles, it all stays crisp. The image holds up great and the colors stay true. To keep the view bright and clear, every glass surface is fully multi-coated. Basically, these coatings cut down reflections and let in as much light as possible. So even in early morning or late evening, the Triumph stays brighter than most other binoculars in this price range without feeling cheap or budget. And yes, the Diamondback or Viper HD models will be brighter at dusk and twilight, and the glass is more premium, but that's a whole different price bracket. We actually have a great review of these binos. I'll leave a link down below so you can check it out. Still, based on feedback from our own customers, a lot of hunters and hikers are seriously impressed with how the Triumph handles tough lighting conditions. Check out this weather. It's cloudy, the sky is completely overcast. There is a fine drizzle and it's kind of foggy out there. But still, at around 1 mile away, we can easily see a bunch of people walking around on the beach. Clear enough, like they may be just 100 yards away from us. Here's another great example of what the 10-power magnification does at longer range. With your bare eyes, this big ship on the horizon is basically invisible, just a tiny gray dot way out there. But through the Triumph, you can already make out its shape pretty clearly. You can tell right away it's obviously a large cargo ship. You can see the long hull shape, the pointed bow, the main structure sitting closer to the back. You can even get a decent sense of how long it is and how it's sitting in the water. Another cool detail is that the outer lenses have Vortex's Armortech coating. It's this hot protective layer that keeps off minor scratches, dirt and rain, all that stuff, and makes the lenses way easier to clean. A lot of brands at this price skip this feature, but the Triumph actually uses the same coating they put on premium models like the Viper or Razor. Gotta respect that. And inside you've got some solid roof prisms with phase correction coating and dielectric mirrors. This is what keeps the image looking sharp and contrasty instead of being washed out and dull. And it's not just marketing fluff. These prisms genuinely keep the image bright and the colors accurate. The body of the Triumph is molded from a tough polycarbonate material with internal reinforcing ribs. It's basically the same kind of impact-resistant plastic they use for helmets or hot shell suitcases. It easily handles accidental drops without getting dented up. The whole thing's wrapped in this thick rubber armor, which means it won't slip out in your hands if they're wet. And it won't scratch up anything when you're wearing it around your neck or chest. Inside, Vortex fills it with nitrogen gas and seals it with O-rings. The nitrogen stops it from funking up inside, and those seals give it IPX7 waterproofing, which means you could literally dunk it underwater at 1 meter for about half an hour. You never have to worry about rainstorms, dust, mud, or even quick accidental dips into a river or lake. That's pretty awesome. After a few long hikes with it, spending hours just watching wildlife and scanning the ocean, I'm dead sure this set is my go-to when I need something tough and reliable that won't break the bank but still has a bunch of premium touches built in. It easily punches way above its price point. I found it perfect for hiking and wildlife watching, so it's great for close to mid-range hunting and basically any outdoor stuff you want to do. Great for all levels, beginners and experts alike. Hunters, hikers, bird watchers, everyone who owns this thing loves it. So if you're the type who goes outdoors and you're not ready to drop $200 or $300 but still want a high quality, built like a tank HD binocular that will last forever, just grab the Triumph HD for $100 and it will serve you for the rest of your life. I bet you won't regret it. So what do you guys think about all this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's discuss it. I hope you found this review helpful. We really tried to be as objective as possible. Thanks for watching, stay tuned, and I'll catch you in the next video.